Welcome to Moon Eagles Wrestling. I'm Moon. This is Joker.
Morning,
And
evening. How we doing?
we have an obvious conversation. If you saw the thumbnail, you know what we're talking about. We're going to get to that. And if you watched Raw last night and then you looked at the graphic for this show, obviously I made the graphic before last night's Raw. I know it's there. We're going to talk about it. And by talk about it, I'm going to bitch. But before we do that, before we get into the subject of the day, there's a lot of wrestling that we watched this weekend.
A lot of wrestling this weekend.
Two particular shows, and I say two, and it really is five. It's technically five shows. So there was, first and foremost, we were watching World Series Wrestling. And listen, you've heard us bitching about the WWE. We've been telling you that you need to watch other wrestling besides New Japan, AEW, WWE. This is the show to prove the point.
Oh my God.
This was the show to prove the point. World Series Wrestling was out of Australia. I am assuming that they're always out of Australia.
I believe so. Everything that I've tried to find, because I just discovered them this fucking week.
Just found them this weekend.
and man, I'm so glad that I did, because
this would be the weekend to find them.
Wow. There's like fucking talent that I've been missing to watch, like that have left, you know, WWE or even AEW or TNA, and here, lo and behold, they're in fucking Australia, man.
The TNA talent is still in TNA. Like, they're still working TNA.
Yes, a lot of them are in other organizations still.
But man, it's the freedom to allow your wrestlers to roam the indies and do these other smaller shows. This is why. Okay, so Australia is like a million years from here, right? Like, as far as if years were a distance, it's like a million years away. Here's how messed up it is time-wise. They're on the other side of the international date line. So when I first saw it, I guess it would have been Friday morning.
Yeah.
The first show was Friday morning. It was taking place Friday night.
Yeah,
Wrap your head around that. It's a time thing. So it was Friday night. We saw the show Friday morning for us because it starts in like Australia and then time wraps around the other way. So it was like 5 a.m. So if you just happen to be up for whatever reason, I think he's out making the scary at Malice Manor.
Insomnia.
Right. And then I just happen to be up and I'm seeing this little thing on YouTube where it just says, hey, WSW, Rise Against Adelaide. I'm like, okay. Like, we're live right now. I'm like,
what a name.
Rise Against. It's got a little anarchy sign there for the fantastic graphic. And then so I'm like, all right, I like wrestling. Click. Mind blown. First of all, that first show has a match, and we were talking about this as we were getting ready for the show. Apparently, we're going to start doing a wrestler of the week, where he's going to choose a wrestler of the week. I'm going to choose a wrestler of the week, which means there's a lot more wrestling we have to watch. Oh no, what a terrible thing.
Shut
I pity our wives.
No, not more wrestling.
Not hurting my feelings. But I watched this match. It's Tuckman of a tag team called the Dropouts versus this guy called Man Like Darius. That's his whole name. Man Like Darius. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Bam. Man Like Darius. It was World Series Wrestling. Man Like Darius. And this match was just impressive.
That was like the first match that I watched.
It was the first match I saw. Weekend. This is something that I've said about wrestling before. Every wrestling show, just like honestly any show of any sort that you do, think about this. Every wrestling show is somebody's first show, whether it's a first wrestling show at all, or it's the first time they've seen you, or it's the first introduction to your company. You have to be on the ball at all times.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, if your first wrestling show was this past WrestleMania, I wouldn't be surprised you didn't come back.
I'm sorry if it was.
Yeah.
That is
on behalf of WWE, No, like you said, this is not representing wrestling. That's not what that's not what this was. If you watched WrestleMania 42, that was your very first wrestling show. Allow Rise Against Night 1 to be your second. Please, God, let it be your second. Because that match by itself,
dude, it was amazing.
So good. So if you remember Baron Corbin, here's another thing. I've always had a lot of shit to say about Baron Corbin. Nothing against him personally. But the way that the WWE would eventually book Baron Corbin, and they could never get his fucking music right. I think that first theme song he had was the best for him, but his theme music was always fucking off. Lone
Wolf Corbin was the best anyway.
It was the best Corbin anyway.
Yeah.
I think there was a point where he was losing his hair, so he just went ahead and went bald. I understand. Yeah, I found my wife sent me a picture of like me and my 12-year-old son when he was a baby, and like the hairline stopped here.
Oh, you're getting ready to have.
I'm like, I should have went bald a lot sooner. I should have done this so much sooner. Guys, this has nothing to do with nothing. If you're about to go bald, either go all out and get the hair plugs, whatever, that's your business, or just go bald. Just go bald.
Bald.
Also, watch the Darby versus MJF hair versus title match. But we're not talking about that. Yeah, just go bald. But again, back to the point. If this is going to be, if you're going to have someone introduced to your company, because again, like me and Joker, we never heard of World Series Wrestling before.
Never.
I didn't know who Tuck Man was before. I didn't know who Man Like Doris was. But this shit, this match,
dude,
sold instant. What you got?
The whole thing was so great. Professional wrestlers treating it like an indie show. It was so fantastic. And I got to see talent that I haven't seen since they left WWE. And like Shotzi. Fucking haven't seen. I haven't been able to watch a Shotzi match in forever. I got to watch 3 different Shotzi matches this weekend. What?
Now, they're on a small tour. This is a 4-night event. Okay. Right. So you woke up Friday. So if you're in America, you woke up Friday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning, and you're watching a full wrestling show. Right?
It's like 4 hours long too.
And you got the same little circuit of wrestlers, but they're telling a story in all the individual matches that allows for them to mix and match amongst themselves in a way that just makes sense.
Dude, the interaction with the crowd was a house show of its finest. Just, it was so great.
Now, here's the thing. Joker hasn't finished night 4. He's at a point. I can't talk about it. And I'm so upset I can't talk about it because he has to experience it for himself. But I'll say this.
Adulting.
I know.
Adulting got in the way.
He got a lot of work done at Malice Manor. If you're in Louisville or around the area in Southern Indiana, you're going to want to show up, I think, June 5th, June 6th, for Rancor's birthday at Malice Manor. He didn't ask me to plug it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because I love what Malice Manor does. I love the actors. I love Joker, and I love his wife. Shout out to Amanda. And what it's going to be a hell of a show. You're going to want to be there. I will be at Spawn of Scarefest. I will be in Lexington. I won't be there. So if I'm not going to be there, you guys have to go in my place. I don't know what to tell you. Them's just the rules. I don't know what to tell you otherwise.
Just how it goes.
Them's just the rules. But he hasn't gotten to. So there's an intermission in the middle, which I think is dope, and I think more wrestling shows need to do that. There is no ads,
none,
ads,
Zero.
nothing on the mat. And intermission was just intermission. It was just like a banner saying intermission.
Intermission.
Now, if you want to do an intermission with all of your ads at one time, I'm in. I'm sold. Go ahead.
Fuck
sure.
yes.
Why not? Do it. Because it was wrestling. It was wrestling thing versus after wrestling thing, after wrestling thing, after wrestling thing. That's wrestling. That's what I miss. It's good. The occasional commercial is fine. I get it. TV time. I understand. But what the WWE has been doing lately is some bullshit, if we're being completely fair and honest. So yeah, not that. But this was great. Shout out to World Series Wrestling. There's a match. You know what? I can't tell you about the match. I can tell you what the match is, though. It's the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, defending the World Series Wrestling Tag Team Championships.
Dude, my boys haven't looked finer.
They look great. Against the Dropouts. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you want to look it up, it's World Series Wrestling. I'm going to throw this up here. It's World Series Wrestling. You can find them on YouTube. The show is broadcast on YouTube, so it's free.
It's free.
Free. The wrestling you can get for free right now is amazing. Dude. You don't need $30 for ESPN.
No.
Great wrestling. It's fantastic. You don't need ESPN. You don't even need HBO Plus. This is no shot at AEW.
You don't need cable. You don't have to have cable TV.
You don't. It's great. Great wrestling. If wrestling is what you like, the good free shit is there. But it's the Good Brothers versus the Dropouts for the the WSW Tag Team Championships. Go find the match by itself. If it's not by itself yet, it's World Series Wrestling, Rise Against, Night 4 in Sydney. Night 4 is in Sydney. There's Adelaide, there's 2 nights in Melbourne, and then there's Sydney. It's in that order. Adelaide, Melbourne 1, Melbourne 2, and then Sydney. Okay,
so that's your good. Order.
If you look in the captions, it'll say first, second, third, final night of the tour. I want you to watch it, and you got to watch it in order for it to make sense because it's a series. It's wrestling. But that tag match, you need to see the entire segment. Sadly, there's a really good point of the match early on where the sound goes out. And I don't know if they ever fixed it, but the sound goes out, but it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It kind of kills the moment for a minute, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, and the cool
I need
thing,
you to find that.
Upon discovering World Series, they've been around for a minute.
Yo, so long.
A good minute, right? So I went down a nice little rabbit hole too, just to take it off beat before we dive in. I watched one of the greatest fucking ladies match, a female fucking match between Jordynne Grace and Indy fucking Hartwell. Dude. Oh, both of them. My God.
I can't say that they're fans of us, but we're definitely fans of them. So Jordynne Grace can do no wrong. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. She could be like, jokingly, she can commit mass murder or stating it with the bloody knife. I'm going to be like, Jordynne Grace, great job.
It was Jordynne Grace before she started dolling up and wearing makeup and shit. So she's natural fucking beauty, fucking, and then just jacked.
Just that. Just understand this. When you go back and watch old Jordynne Grace matches, which everybody should. She's my like wrestling crush Wednesday every week. Like,
oh my God.
Like she's like, you don't top Jordynne Grace. Old school Jordynne Grace, new school Jordynne Grace, TNA Jordynne Grace, NXT Jordynne Grace, Jordynne Grace.
Doesn't matter.
Like,
it does not matter.
We love Jordynne Grace here. Okay, this is the Jordynne Grace wrestling show. Jordynne Grace, if you're listening,
hi.
Hello. This is Joker. We'd love to have you on the show.
Anytime.
We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about right here, live, for as long as you want. Doesn't have to be wrestling. You want to talk about your dogs? Anytime. You and Gresham want to talk about your dogs the whole time?
Anything. Okay. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
We don't even care.
It doesn't matter.
Now, World Series Wrestling, not the only company that had a big show this weekend. No. I actually almost forgot about the other one. And then I saw it hit my phone, which is why it's so important to subscribe to a channel, like their videos, and hit the notification bell. So when they go live, you're aware of it. Like this show. You should like this video right now. You should hit the you should subscribe, hit the like, and hit the notification bell. So when we go live, you don't forget.
The button is down there.
Because I watch Ohio Valley Wrestling every week.
Every Thursday.
I watch it every Thursday at 7 o'clock on YouTube. Again, free on YouTube. Side note, second longest running episodic TV
longest
program.
running episodic television show in history.
Raw is first.
OVW.
OVW TV is second. They are 1 week. They started doing their show 1 week before SmackDown started.
Yep.
They are 1 week ahead of SmackDown.
How dope is that shit, dude?
Oh, great. Right? So, bonus question. So, there you go. Wrestling. There you go. So, I guess that would make SmackDown third, right? Which is why you never hear them brag about it.
Nope.
Because they don't want to admit that there's a company that's like, it's Raw, somebody else. And then SmackDown, like, you can't be that guy. But
no.
WWE would probably be, we are the almost second Michael Cole. But yeah, OVW TV been on for a while. I'm so glad that they're live on YouTube. But they had their big show, Collision Course, and that was such a great show. So OVW good. Is always doing dope shit. Their matches are always great. Their stories are wild. But I'm going to give this to Joker because this is going to lead into his wrestler of the week. Take it.
So if, again, OVW, in my opinion, can do no wrong, especially in the past, 2-3 years, easy. This weekend, again, phenomenal freaking show.
Great show.
I can't say enough about indie talent right now. Because everything indie that I've been watching, and I shouldn't call OVW indie because it's not. It's professional fucking wrestling. But there's a guy in OVW I've been paying attention to for a hot minute, and his name is Mr. Jay De Niro, and he before this weekend was the OVW Media Champion. Okay,
so their equivalent of like a TV title,
their TV title. 55 years old, right? So we
50, almost 55. His birthday's like the 8th.
He'll be 55
he's
June 8th.
Almost 55. He's almost 55.
June 8th is his birthday. So happy early birthday to my man Jay De Niro
from Moon Eagles Wrestling.
After this weekend, my man became a double champ. He is now the Ohio Valley Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Which I don't care. Listen, they have a really weird title thing.
They got a lot of titles.
They do have a lot of titles, but it's like the OVW Heavyweight Championship, and then there's the Ohio Valley United States Championship, which is actually their new top title. It was some other title. They renamed it. I forgot what the story was behind that.
Yeah,
Eric Surge had the title. It was something else. They renamed it, gave him a new belt, and that became the top title of OVW.
Yep.
So he's not OVW's top champion, but as far as I'm concerned,
he's the fucking heavyweight champion.
The heavyweight champion with your company's name on it is the top title.
He's the face that runs the place, baby. He's the top motherfucking guy.
Yeah, he's top dog.
He's top guy.
We'll talk about Tony Evans here in a second. He's the Ohio Valley Wrestling United States champion. We'll mention him in a second, but this is Jay De Niro's time.
Jay De Niro.
Tony's only got one belt. Jay De Niro's got two belts.
My man comes out looking slick as snot with his fucking suit. He kicks ass in a goddamn suit, son.
Every single week. Every week.
Looking like he just fucking ready to go and be the man wherever the fuck he goes.
Yeah.
Jay De Niro.
And it was such a good match.
Dude,
it was him versus Dustin Jackson.
Yeah.
Dustin Jackson, who was the champion beforehand. And boy, what a great match that was.
Dude, this guy can fucking go, man.
Yeah.
For 54, pushing 55, this dude can go. And
really can.
I just super impressed, man, because like I said, I watch every week, and this guy, when he first fucking came on my screen, I was like, okay, what we got?
Like, ooh, another mob guy. Ooh, he's
Another mob guy.
an Italian mob guy with the last name De Niro.
How many times?
To the Pope. Shout out to Pope.
But no, it's for real. How many times do we have to see this freaking gimmick? And it was like, all right.
Tony D'Angelo, the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, Jay De Niro. He had his son. I forgot what his son's name is. He's with Tony Evans now. Little something, whatever. Anyway.
But I had to give him a minute.
Yeah.
And a minute turned into the entire fucking match. I like this guy. I like this guy a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
he's had some really good story recently.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. So, yeah.
Again, if you're only watching one fucking product, people, please. There's
You're missing so much.
Shit. God, there's so much good wrestling out there.
You're missing so much wrestling. And here's the thing, and this is no shot at WWE or AEW. They're your top guys because the owners have that much money.
Love them both.
But here's the problem. They've got a lot of money, and they've got great wrestlers on their roster. They don't have the best wrestler. Honestly, I'd have to throw a little bit to the side to World Series Wrestling because, I mean, some of the wrestlers there, they're energetic. They're talented in the ring. They know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And no gimmick that they do takes too long.
They're having fun.
They're having so much fun, but the wrestling happens in the ring. Hey, shout out to Bishop Dyer, formerly Baron Corbin, who got injured during that. He got injured, shot to the eye with Nick Nemeth's face. Yeah, headbutt to the eye will fuck you up. And so he's off. He's off the circuit for a minute.
But shout out another guy.
Hope he's getting better.
Another guy, underutilized. Underappreciated when he was in the WWE. Now, this cat, again, a guy that I loved watching anyway. Didn't matter the gimmick. I enjoyed watching him in ring. But now, this dude fucking.
And I'm sorry, Deep Six and End of Days, two of the best wrestling moves in the game, have been, will be Deep Six. Fucking love that. I love the Deep Six. Deep Six.
Good
shit. If you ever see a Blue Thunder Bomb by Sami Zayn, okay, that's powerful. Now, see a Blue Thunder Bomb by Tenosuke Takeshita, crazy devastating. Now watch a Deep Six by Bishop Dyer. Can't touch him.
No contest. No contest.
Now, before we get off the situation, the story here, I want to go here real quick with Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Yes.
The main event of Collision Course. So you have 5 shows to watch. Okay, you got all week to watch these 5 shows. All right?
So much fun.
Rise Against all 4 shows, and then you got to find Ohio Valley Wrestling's Collision Course. All right, got to watch it. The story behind the main event, Tony Evans versus Star Rider. Star Rider is a masked wrestler. The story is Star Rider won a #1 contendership for the top title. He gets screwed out of the title. He wants a rematch. He puts his mask on the line out of desperation. If you don't know what storytelling in ring is, if you think storytelling is, oh, well, he's supposed to face so-and-so. Like, oh, the Judgment Day kicked Finn Balor out. So now Finn Balor is going to have to fight the people in the Judgment Day. So it's a match against Dom. Then it's a match against JD. Then it's a match against someone and they'll interfere. If you think that's storytelling, stop watching WWE. That's not in-ring storytelling.
No.
But this main event with Star Rider and Tony Evans, Superior Tony Evans, Ooh, okay. Tony Evans has a group, right? The group consists of 2 other dudes and a woman. This is important. Star Rider has no group, so it's just Star Rider. He fights for this top title. If he loses, he has to take his mask off. He has to unveil himself as a luchador, right? Okay. So they're doing the interference thing. Guy 1 comes in, he's taking him out. Guy 2 comes in, he's taking him out. The girl shows up, he doesn't take her out because of course he doesn't. And then Tony Evans, they're going back and forth. They give Tony Evans brass knuckles to use against Star Rider. He stops him. They're on the ground. The referee is out. Star Rider, desperate, as the babyface. He's desperate to win this match. He gets the brass knuckles. He sees Tony Evans laying there vulnerable, waking up, getting there to his feet. He's like, I don't want to do it. This is desperate times come for desperate measures, man. And I got to do it. I got to do it. He hits Tony Evans with the brass knuckles. Crowd cheers until they realize the referee is woken up. And the referee is watching him. Star Rider turns around and sees the referee see him. Brass knuckles on his fist. When they tell you to slow down in pro wrestling, this is why. This moment drew on for a moment. Not too long, but it drew on for a moment. Couldn't happen too quick. You had to acknowledge that Star Rider did this thing. Then Star Rider had to acknowledge that he got caught. The referee had to look at Star Rider, knowing what the repercussions are. The referee was left no choice but to disqualify Star Rider, causing Star Rider to lose the match. Star Rider is forced to sit there with his decision, realizing how deep of a consequence his moment, his quick moment of desperation was. And it bit him in the ass instantly. He had to sit with that. Tony Evans retains the title on the disqualification. And with the victory to Tony Evans, Star Rider had to remove his mask. They drew this moment out for the exact right amount of time. That is drama. That is storytelling in ring. Because commentary helps. Beautiful part about watching a show from home. Commentary adds that extra bonus. But you didn't have to hear a word from commentary. The way the wrestlers, including the referee, performed in the ring told all the story you needed.
And that's fucking good wrestling, dude. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Color commentary is amazing. Play-by-play is always great. But when you can watch a match without listening and enjoy it and not get tired of watching.
And feel it. You could feel that moment. You felt the weight of that loss. You felt I've never seen a DQ finish to a main event title match that made me happier than this one. Love what Star Rider's been doing for the last couple months, but 99 times out of 100, if your main event show, your big show, your main event on your big show ends in a DQ, you're like, this is fucking bullshit. This was not. I don't know how you do it right. They figured it out. They did it right. So shout out to Superior Tony Evans. Shout out to Star Rider. Shout out to Ohio Valley Wrestling. What a main event. What storytelling. Shout outs from Moon and Joker. Yeah.
Beautiful wrestling. Beautiful.
It was absolutely beautiful. But here's the thing. You said how old was Jay De Niro?
54. He'll be 55 June 8th.
So real quick, those are the Instagram handles for our wrestlers of the week. Jay De Niro, Man Like Darius.
He's on Facebook as well.
So 55. Yeah. You know, the idea of being 55 and still working such a physical job, retirement has to be on his mind.
It's
a great segment into the subject of today's show, which is wrestling retirements. Jeez. I know I got banners and stuff, and things have changed. Like I'm working on it.
Look at us, all professional and stuff.
I'm trying to do the things right. Right. But wrestling retirements, when you get to a certain age, like you start wrestling when you're like 16, 17, 18, you're out here like Nick Wayning it and shit, right?
Yeah.
The Hardy Boys started at 15, 16. The Young Bucks started a little bit younger than that. And then you start walking in and then you start doing this shit until you're 55.
The average to get signed out of the indies is just, well, now it's right at 20, 21, 22 years old.
Crazy.
Where it used to be like 25, close to 30.
Yeah. Because you have a little bit of maturity, a little bit of something under your belt, right. A little time in the indies, some dues paid.
Yes.
And I mean, we're talking Thea Hales and Javon Evans. Javon Evans and things like Javon Evans and I'd say Leon Slater, probably the best examples of that young age where people are what you would expect is someone at the beginning of their career.
Right.
But we're talking about those at the end of their career. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Jay De Niro, 55 years old, double champion.
That's impressive, son.
If you're Jay De Niro, hypothetically speaking, when do you call it quits? This is a question we were asked each other, and it's like, do you call it quits when, like, do you retire now, when you're at the top of your game, like this is how they remember you at the top?
And then you know what is your definition? You know, who's to say what getting to the top is for one individual to the next?
That is such a fair question. So what I think the best way to put it was how Joker put it when we were talking about it. When do you tap out? When do you tap out? Because I think this had to do with our it's like the fourth week in a row we talk about the New Day. But like there's a possibility where like maybe they don't come back to wrestling. You know, right. Maybe they go ahead and just say, you know what, great time. Kofi's like, I did 20 years in the game. What else do I have to prove except for that I could do the world championship thing again? But do you really need to prove that? I mean, you're Kofi fucking Kingston.
At this point, no. God, no. You're Kofi Kingston.
You're Kofi Kingston. Who are you proving shit to besides you?
Nope.
Right? But at the same time, who else is there to, like, if you do need to show it to yourself?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So that's the question that we're here to discuss today. Wrestling retirements. When do you tap out?
When's enough?
So I'll ask you, Joker, broadly speaking, if it was you, do you retire at the top of your game when you've still got so much in the tank? You could keep going, but you're just going to be like, you know what? Now's a good time. Let them remember me how I am. Or do you ride this motherfucker like till the wheels fall off? What do you do?
I think honestly, you know, put aside anybody with having family. Okay, put aside family.
All that stuff.
Put aside kids, wife, all that shit. Put that shit aside. I think now the way times are, how we understand wellness and body wellness, especially, you know, mental health is the one thing, but body health is a great big factor when it comes to wrestling, where these guys and girls are basically getting into car wrecks every fucking time they get into the ring.
Every day.
And it puts a toll on the body. You know, I would say, and this is a very bold statement, it is probably the most physical tolling on the body sport profession in the world. professional wrestlers, because most companies work for at least 4 to 5 days a week doing shows all over the fucking place.
We just talked about Rise Against. It was 4 days in a row.
4 days.
It was 4 days in a row.
All the same talent got in and got their asses fucking thrown all over the place all weekend long.
4 days in 3 different cities.
So when you look at it that way, for me personally, if it was my body and I'm like, man, I'm at the top of my game. I'm a fucking Triple Crown champion. I've done pretty much everything. I'm pushing 50 years old. I'm gonna go. But it also, again, what are the situation of the individual? Is that person, running some mad cash in their bank account and not having to worry about, okay, I'm 55, 60 years old and I'm going to retire. Am I going to be able to fucking live?
Right.
And is it straight in-ring retirement, or is it all the way out? You're done with the profession, because a lot of companies want you to be done in ring, but then they want you to work behind the scenes, i.e.
producer, trainers.
Right.
Benny, he does the commentary on the premium live events.
Right. So in that
commentary,
aspect, you have options in the in this industry, in the wrestling industry. You have options if you are in a major company. You always have options as far as when it's time to leave their fucking boots in the middle of the ring and call it done.
Yeah. Shout out to the commentary booths of like almost every major company. There's a pro wrestler or former wrestler.
Yeah.
There was Jerry the King Lawler when I was growing up.
Yep.
You had Gorilla Monsoon. You had Jesse Ventura. You had Taz.
Mm-hmm. Still have Taz.
JBL. You still got Taz. You still got Daniel Bryanson. You got
still have JBL. JBL's doing fucking AAA now.
Along with Corey Graves.
Corey Graves Corey Graves was in ring. Yeah.
He had an injury. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Corey Graves, injury, forced to retire, just does commentary now.
He was an awesome fucking wrestler too, man.
He's great on fucking commentary.
Oh.
I absolutely love Corey Graves in commentary.
Yes.
Probably one of the best wrestlers turned commentators
in a long while.
Sorry, Taz. Like, you know what? Matter of fact, since Taz. Like, King was good. But Taz did a great job. He does great on commentary.
There's another show, dude. Commentators.
I'm in. So you heard it. And this is not rehearsed. Like, we literally just came up with that. Like, we're just talking about it. This is the beautiful part about live doing a live show.
I think honestly, and as a fan, when I'm watching talent, if you're maintaining your physical fucking form, all right, I'm gonna be kind of graphic. When you start looking like you got flapjacks hanging on your chest and you're still calling yourself a top guy, no, your 73, almost 80-year-old ass needs to hang it up, Mr. Flair.
Woo.
Woo! I love you, Rick, but goddamn it, stay your happy ass out of the ring.
Now, Ric Flair is a conversation piece we're going to hold for a little bit later on in the show. I got questions about. We're going to talk about Ric Flair, but that kind of leads to the question.
There's other guys. There's other guys that do it too.
I talked about my first match. The first match I watched that really got me into wrestling. It was two old guys. It was Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. Like, Terry Funk had no business wrestling as long as he was wrestling. He should have just hung it up a long time. But sometimes you got these guys who just can't. One reason or another, blew their money, whatever.
Right.
They need the limelight, whatever it is.
They can't let go. They need the money. They just can't go home.
I'm saying. And did they start saying crazy shit at conventions? So, whatever. But that just goes to the question, like, when is the right time to hang it up? I think if I was to answer that same question, I can't say I disagree with you. There's a lot that I can just say, being 42 years old, about physical health and how physical health impacts your mental health.
Yeah.
And your mental health can impact your physical health. It's all a chain. And you got to take care of yourself physically, because if you don't, even just a simple injury can really mess with your head, man. So if you've been holding off going to the doctor, just go. Just go. If you've been holding off going to a therapist, go. Even if it's just like one session just to see how you feel about it, go. Break the ice, or reach out to a friend or a buddy or something. Do something.
Be a scare actor.
You know what? I have heard that that's good therapy.
That's fucking mad therapy, son.
Go to your local haunt.
Even in my profession as a scare actor, I'm a haunt owner now, but I was a scare actor, and most of the time I was a chainsaw guy, right? That's a physical fucking scare actor position. I'm 48 years old. I'm getting ready to attempt it again, maybe for a little while, just running saw with these kids. And I have to sit and question myself. Is it time for me to say, look, Joker, man, you're good. You were good at what you do. You're still good at what you do. But is it worth hurting yourself?
Yeah.
Let's be real. I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to do it because I know that I'm going to take that responsibility on myself. I'm going to put myself in physical harm's way because I can't let go. So as a wrestler, if I was a wrestler and that was what you're pitching, yeah, man, that's where the conversation comes into play. When is it time?
Because here's the thing, some jobs are not physically demanding.
Correct.
Right? My job is not physically demanding. This is my job.
Average time in most professions before retirement is like 20, 25 years, right?
On average, 20-ish. I'd say 25 to 30, 20 to 30, depending on the profession.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
So you
office jobs you can do for a little bit longer than normal.
Right.
But think about it, if you start working at 18 and you retire at like 60, 65, that's a long time. Call it 20 to like 40, 45 years almost working.
Yeah. And we're talking about
make sure you guys have those retirement plans. Make sure you talk to an advisor. Hey, we're picking the microphone up. Hey man, listen, if you're out there and y'all are working, if you're 30 years old, I don't need you to do this, but you need you to do this. Figure out what your 401 plan is, your 401k. All right. And if you don't have one through work, contact somebody. I don't care who. We're not sponsored. I don't give a damn. Contact somebody and get yourself an IRA. Get yourself. It's really just a matter of do you want to be taxed before or after you do the money.
That's why I have stock investments.
Yeah. So have a plan. You will thank me at 65. Hey man, I was watching this wrestling podcast and some guy was like, get you a 401k, get yourself an IRA. It's like, this dumb guy. And now I'm 65 and set. Okay, yeah, thanks, kid. Thanks. Thank you, Moon Equals Wrestling.
This has been a PSA from Moon Equals Wrestling.
You're welcome. Fidelity, you can sponsor us whenever you want. Anyway, you know what? Don't pay me. Just put it in an IRA. Anyway.
But we're talking about retiring from professional wrestling.
Right.
Which is very taxing on the human body. Now,
of course, we have real retirements to talk about, but I really want to bitch and get the bitching out of the way. So let's talk about retirement angles. And I think one of the biggest retirement angles in history was the salmon suit and Mark Henry. Mark Henry comes out into the ring Monday Night Raw, wearing this salmon-colored suit, and not only is it a salmon-colored suit on TV, it's a dark-skinned black man wearing a salmon-ass suit. Shout out to Mark motherfucking Henry. Black men do pink. Hashtag black men do pink. Interpret that however you want.
I love this show.
But so he comes out, he does the retirement thing, full retirement speech, the crying, everyone is feeling, because Mark Henry is the world's strongest man. He's had some impact in the game, right? So he's out there, he's retiring. John Cena comes out, raising his arm. Hey man, thank you for everything you've done, blah, 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 blah. And then Mark Henry lays his bitch ass out. Fake retirement. The whole thing was a ruse. He just did that to sucker John Cena in, laid him clean out. If you've never watched that clip, if you've never seen that, go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. You should. Pause. Okay, open another tab. Right, pause the show. And then open another tab. Search for it. Watch it. Come back.
We'll be here.
I'll give you a second to just do the thing. Hold on.
Hey, welcome back. How was that match?
So that should have been a pretty good match. That's enough time. You paused it, right? I told you to pause. You didn't pause it? Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's your fault.
That's on you. I don't tell you.
That's your
watch
fault.
this on replay. It's cool. That was great. Okay. You sucker us in thinking you're going to retire, and then we're sad to see you go. All the things happen, and then boom, right there, we got an angle, and we got a whole program with John Cena and Mark Henry. If you watched Monday Night Raw this past Monday, like yesterday, less than 24 hours ago, fuck you, Brock. Listen, let's ask this question again. When is it time to hang out? When is it time to tap out? Right? And I'm sorry, I didn't even want to have to talk about this, but it needs to be talked about. The Janelle Grant lawsuit, to be referenced in the lawsuit, only to turn around and then be by name mentioned in a sex trafficking lawsuit, it's time to stay off fucking TV. All right? They let you come back long enough to do the angle. You did the retirement angle. You did it. We sent you off. You did the job for Oba. You gave Oba the credit of the man who retired Brock Lesnar. And now you've done this shit, which means you've told, you know what? Again, first it was Kofi, then it was Big E. Now you're trying to screw over Oba by taking this credible little thing off his record.
I'm starting to feel like he might be a little bit.
You know what? Here's the thing. It's really hard. Okay, listen. Booking is booking, and that has nothing. That's almost has nothing to do with talent. So let's call a spade a spade. Let's be fair, a little. But patterns are patterns or patterns or patterns or patterns. All I'm saying, patterns are patterns or patterns or patterns. And honestly, you heading out, you should not have been on TV. You shouldn't have been on TV. You should have went ahead and retired. It was your go home thing.
And I was all right with it, dude. Like, look, it shook me for a second because it's Brock Lesnar. I remember watching the dude in OVW.
It was the spectacle of Brock Lesnar.
I've not, I can't say I've been a fan.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate Brock Lesnar. And so the whole thing that had happened, it was just like, all right, I think I'm okay with this. Like, it's good on you, dude.
It's time.
You just thought about it and said, you know what? There's another dude that can take my spot. and his name is Obafemi, and you displayed to us that you're okay with this, and then oops, let me turn around and tell you no.
The ruler.
The ruler.
Hey, I have 4 kids. Dad jokes are what I do.
No, but I was okay with it. Like, as a fan of wrestling, I was like, this dude just made the right decision.
Yeah.
And it was look, if it was a ruse, they sold the shit out of it. Both him and did. Paul Heyman sold the fuck out of this.
They did.
So this is where, are we upset about it? A smidge. But
I'm upset, yeah.
I'm enjoying the kayfabe resurrection.
I do love. Okay, so looking at this as a wrestling fan, good on you. It's so hard in 2026 where every motherfucker with a microphone has a wrestling podcast. Hi. I'm a motherfucker with a microphone with a wrestling podcast.
I did.
But exactly what she said. But it's tough to get away with things in wrestling because everybody's got a phone. There are pictures of everything. There are videos of everything. There are fans hanging out in every airport to capture everything.
We are in the information era right now. Yeah. If you want to know, you can find the fucking shit out.
Which is making me wonder why all y'all are so, like, some of y'all out there is just so damn stupid. Not the people who love the show, but your friends, my friends, all them other weirdos, motherfuckers. Why are they so stupid? Like, the phone is right here. It's right here. That's Stephanie McCurr. You guys, your phone is right here. All the information in the world is right here.
World, Craig.
Shout out to my friend Jace, who actually does not have a smartphone, but that's intentional. So maybe not him. And like the 1% of everybody else who doesn't have a smartphone. For everybody else, what is going on? You have all the information in the world. So with all that being said, it's so hard to get away with things like Seth Rollins' fake injury.
I loved it.
Loved it.
Sold.
I fell for it.
Yeah.
I fell for the injury angle.
Yeah.
The retirement angle. I fell for it. He's in the fucking graphic. He's in my fucking graphic.
Look, again, I was going to give the motherfucker his flowers and be like, this is the guy. Him, fucking AJ Styles, John Cena. These are cats that, like, I was right on board with this. I was there.
And then the motherfucker showed up. It's like he knew I was going to have an episode on the show about retirements. It's like, okay, I got to show up before Moon and Joker do this episode. I was just to fuck with him. Thank God we didn't pre-record on a Sunday. Can you imagine if we had pre-recorded?
I've been so embarrassed.
I'd have had a show. Like if I had to turn around and do this on my own, like a bonus episode after the fact, I've been like, listen, we were wrong. Okay, we're allowed. So thank God this is why I'm like. First of all, if you want to know why this show is on live on Tuesday, this is why the show is live on Tuesdays.
Because shit happens on Mondays.
If you ever want to know why we picked this time and date.
And shit happens on the weekends too. Obviously, there was such great wrestling.
Right, so much wrestling. But fuck you, Brock.
Yeah. Fuck bastard.
But that goes into my other thing. As a wrestling fan, okay, great, you got us. But then there's the point where when you do have all that information, when you are one of those wrestling fans that pays attention to the other shit, like you're printing out fucking ESC, like SEC reports and shit for companies and whatever, fucking nerds. Hi, I'm a fucking nerd with the wrestling podcast. when you're those kind of fans, and we know the shit that you're getting into, or you got into, or whatever the situation, allegedly, it's probably best to just say, you know what, I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna step out. Sometimes when you're in controversy, the best thing to do is just walk away. Does it hurt? Yeah. Will it piss you off? If you're innocent, rightfully so.
Keep your fucking head down.
Just walk away. Just walk away. Because I can't imagine, and I don't want to hang on this part too long, but I can't imagine being an established or brand new female star walking the same back rooms, having to wonder.
Comfortably walk around your place of work.
Just having to wonder, like, because here's the thing, Brock Lesnar's a big dude who, like, physically can probably get away with a lot. And I'm not saying that he would. I don't know Brock Lesnar as a person to say he would. And even part of the lawsuit is that an option was presented to him, and I think either he declined or he wasn't capable in the moment.
Here, whiskey dick.
But allegedly. All joking aside, I can't imagine being in that locker room, being backstage, thinking, this guy, what is this guy thinking when he sees me walking past him? Is he waiting for someone at TKO to offer him the same thing at the law? Like, what are the thoughts that go through your mind when you don't know, right? When the accusation is out there, right? And again, I'm not any motherfucker to tell a guy he's guilty or innocent or whatever. I don't know.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
I wasn't there. I don't know shit. The evidence does not look good for you, homie. The evidence does not look good. But hey, in America, you are innocent until proven guilty. Allegedly. So again, those are just the things I worry about. I'm just like, I think I would just step away. It couldn't be me. I'd just step away. But yeah, those retirement angles, and choices were made. But now we're going to get Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar at Clash of Italy. And I don't know if we're going to cover.
Called that shit too, didn't I? Called that shit.
He did. So
God damn it.
But I'm just like, are we going to cover Clash of Italy? I don't know. We might mention it. I don't know. We'll see what's going on that week. But let's talk about some genuine retirements, like planned genuine retirements. We had I got a short list here. We have Sting when he retired in AEW. Undefeated, by the way. I didn't realize he was undefeated in AEW.
In AEW? Yeah.
Undefeated. Undefeated. Retired with the tag team titles. There is a lot of people who did not think that Sting should have. I past tensed it. That Sting, he's retired now. He's called Stung.
He's called Stung.
There's a lot of people who didn't think that Sting should have retired with a win, retaining the tag team titles with Darby Allin. But I think there's enough respect for Sting that they're like, you know what? We're willing to take the L for you on this and send you out with the perfect record.
That's another question I've got as far as retirement of in-ring.
Go ahead.
Why
the loss?
95% of the time is it a fucking loss? Why?
I think
to say that I went. There we go. Send him on his way.
Yeah, I think it's doing the favor, right? It's finding someone who is good enough to have retired a great.
Well, because look, retirement in the industry has only recently become a big deal. Where it's like being broadcasted, it's being celebrated almost. Even before the John Cena thing, you had Taker, when he was retiring. It was to be a big deal. They were making a thing out of it. Where, before it, that was their last match.
Yeah, I remember that. Up until what was it, WrestleMania like 41, 39. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens.
40, right?
Was that 40?
I don't know.
Tell us in the comments if
somebody let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Whatever. I mean, we can look it up. I just don't feel like it.
I don't feel like. I don't either. I looked up so much information this week.
Right. We have notes. We got shit to say. I have notes. It's a lot of wrestling this weekend. Sorry, I can't do that right now. I got notes. But Stone Cold Steve Austin's retirement match at WrestleMania 19, the main event of 19, that wasn't announced ahead of time. No one said that this is Stone Cold Steve Austin's last match. There was no big ceremony with the boots in the ring. There was no big playoff with the music. None of that.
It's only recently started to become a thing.
And I think a lot of that has to do with ticket sales. Because if you are a huge fan of a John Cena, an AJ Styles, for example, then it's a premium price to watch that last match, knowing for a fact that you'll never see them wrestling again. He knows who I'm looking at. He knows who I'm looking at. He knows. We're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about you in a minute. But honestly, I think that's what it is. I mean, you consider the premium on a ticket if you say this is the last time John Cena will be in Louisville, Kentucky.
Right. How many times is the son of a bitch going to retire if it's somebody, a big name?
Yeah.
How many times?
So you have those regular retirements, and I want to jump ship in a second. But these retirements, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you had, what we were talking about, Jordan Grace a little bit ago, if for one reason or another, Jordan Grace's last match is at what's coming up? It's June, Clash at Italy, so not that one. The next pay-per-view in America.
SummerSlam?
There might be another one before. We'll call it SummerSlam, though. If we find out that her last wrestling match will be at SummerSlam, if you weren't planning on buying a ticket before, would that at the very least make you reconsider?
Yeah.
And that is why they do it. I think that is the reason.
We
obviously get it.
Smart.
It's great business.
Smart.
But then I think there's a responsibility to actually retire. Because now
have a little bit of respect for yourself.
Have respect for the fans. Because there's guys
for
who
the
retired.
Fucking industry.
There's guys who retired, like so as it is so far. John Cena, AJ Styles, Goldberg, Undertaker, Sting. There are several others. Shout out to all of them who I didn't.
I mean, and I've got a good little list of like the ages that they've retired. All right, Taker was 59.
Okay. All this came in mind. Jay De Niro is 55. Is going to be 55 in like 3 weeks.
Right. Now, and I only found WWE talent. Obviously,
there's not a lot of people who have retired from AEW.
Shawn Michaels was 59.
Mhm.
Goldust was 58 before his return when he went to AEW. So when he retired from the WWE.
And what a run he's had since signing with AEW.
Dude. Dustin Rhodes is a fucking beast.
I feel like there are going to be some episodes. We've talked about this on the show before. Where we want to do some like individual wrestler deep dive profiling and just kind of discuss a wrestler by like a show about Darby Allin or a show about China, a show about Goldust or Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes, my man.
Like that's a worthy show.
Yeah,
that's a worthy show.
Oh yeah. So then you got I got Kane was 57. Batista was 55.
He was in his 40s when he came in. Late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah. When he was in OVW, he was in his early 30s, I believe. Early to mid.
Early to mid.
Yeah.
By the way, read Batista's book, Batista Unleashed.
Yeah, it's great.
Great. As far as like wrestling books, up until recently, that was my favorite. Mox is probably my favorite.
I like Mox.
Yeah. Mox's book is great.
Let's see. Tripp, he was 55.
We'll talk about Triple H in a minute.
And then John Cena was 47.
So young.
And then the other one that just, again, we just said his name earlier, Mr. Ric Flair, when he first retired. Let's
talk first retired.
70 something, dude. He's like 73. How old is Ric Flair now?
Well, how old's AJ Styles? Was he like 45?
Yeah. AJ Styles 45,
40. Something around that age. So he's only a couple years older than me, a couple years younger than Joker. And I think that was so smart because it's like, listen, dog, I got kids now.
He's 48.
48.
June 2nd is his birthday. He's 48.
Shout out to AJ Styles.
He's my age. He called it quits. Brilliant. Bravo. Tapped. Look, am I upset about it? Am I sad? Yes, so because I'm a huge AJ Styles fan. But out of respect for the sport, the industry, and this man's mental and physical health, dude, he's got nothing else to prove to anybody.
Yeah.
And now he has time to be at home with his wife and his kids and be a fucking person. Yeah. Is he still AJ Styles? Sure. Is he going to do stuff behind the scenes with WWE? Of course he is. You'd be foolish to think otherwise. But he gets to go home. He gets to go home. He could probably work from home.
And at some point in time, it's like, hey, I'm not coming in for training. My kid's got a baseball game.
Or
he can just do that. Not, hey, sorry, I got a title to defend in Italy.
Can't make it.
Like,
so these are guys. These are some of these guys that I named off were forced to retire for medical issues, what have you. But the average age for professional wrestlers to retire is 50 years old.
And again, Jay De Niro is 55 years old.
In the NFL, let's compare this real quick before we start rattling off.
Throw him out there real quick. Jay De Niro is 55 years old.
55.
Well above the average retirement age, and he just won his second title simultaneously. He's currently 2 belts De Niro. Just throwing it out there. Follow him on Instagram.
Comparing this to other professional sports in the United States. Okay.
Hit it.
These and I'm gonna start off with the impact sports. All right, the physicality sports. Right. The fucking NFL, the average retirement age is 26 or 27.6. So 27 and a half years old. All right.
What were you doing at 27? Were you retiring?
Fuck no.
I don't think so. You were barely getting into a career. You just had your first, maybe second job where you've been there long enough to have an anniversary.
Right? The NHL, the next high-hitting fucking sport, 28 is the average retirement age. Then you go to the NBA, 28 and a half. Major League Baseball, 29 and a half. Now put this into your hat and think about this. Barely middle age, and these people are retiring.
Which is wild to me, with a capital H.
Over middle age, putting yourself through hell.
Or hell in a cell.
At least 5 times a week.
Or 4 times in Australia.
Or 4 times in Australia. When is it respectful for the industry, for yourself? If you weren't forced to retire, because like you said, you want to talk about Tripp and everything.
Yeah.
If you weren't forced to retire, when's it time to fucking tap out? Like, and not embarrass yourself. Like right. I fully, and I hate that I'm even going to say this. The end of Ric Flair's run is embarrassing. And as a Ric Flair fan from childhood, it hurt my heart, and it was embarrassing. The retirement match of Ric Flair that was like blowed out of fucking ridiculousness.
I should never have to ask this question. Which one? The independent one or the WrestleMania?
The independent one where he bled worse than he's ever bled in his fucking career. You have nothing to prove, dude. You're Ric fucking Flair. Why at his age, what would make you think, number one, that I'm entertained?
Are you not entertained? No, actually, no.
No, I'm not.
At this point, I'm just concerned.
I'm worried for you.
I'm just concerned.
You're talking about a man who has legitimately died like 3 times.
No joke. That's facts.
Like flatlined. I'm done. I'm not on this earth anymore, dead. So why at over 70 years old do
it's like he died and he was outside the ring and God's counting him out. And he's like, no.
Fuck you, God.
And he dives back in the ring at 9 and comes back to life. No disrespect to Ric Flair and his health, but
I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. Huge. That last stint was fucking ridiculous. It was embarrassing.
So let's go ahead and talk about that. So I had a list of wrestlers, and I had them broken down into different categories. And Ric Flair is in this category of those who retired and returned. Yeah. So first there's people like Paige or Saraya, as she was in AEW. That's her real name, Saraya. Daniel Bryan Danielson. WWE versus AEW names. Edge / Adam Copeland. Christian Cage. All of these guys had an injury that literally took them out. The Raw after WrestleMania, I forget which WrestleMania it was. I think 28 maybe. Somewhere around there, where Edge defended the World Heavyweight Championship. He won. And they're like, yo, dog, you can't wrestle anymore. If you take one more bump the wrong way, you're paralyzed for life.
Right.
And so comes out Monday Night Raw, relinquishes the World Heavyweight Championship and retires. And then as he says, I think there was a time he was out doing something, trying to, whatever he was doing with his quality of life. And he could feel like he fell and felt okay. And he's like, now that's weird. Got checked out, realized he was okay. He was healing in a way he hadn't expected. got to the point where he was cleared and went to. No, he returned at WrestleMania. Oh, Rumble. Came back at the Rumble. Yep. And then left the company, went to AEW, worked with new guys while he could. I was reading an article earlier today that he's started to feel it again. So if you haven't gotten a chance to see Adam Copeland live, you might be wanting to buy some AEW tickets.
You might want to get on the train now.
You might want to hurry up because that he's approaching his last station here. Because again, when is the time to tap out? Before you have to.
Before you can't fucking walk.
Yeah. Because he's getting to that point again, and he's been in some. I get it. You feel better, and you're ready to.
But here's the thing, man. Most of your talent now are fucking not just meathead fucking sons of bitches. You're talking about most of these people have freaking college degrees in fields where they could go and get jobs. They could stay with the companies that they're with and probably still have a job that their freaking college earned diploma.
Shout out to Nikki Storm, formerly Nikki Cross, now Nikki Storm, PhD, Dr. Nikki Storm. Real quick, shout out to my younger brother, my little brother Derek Hearn, who just graduated yesterday with his PhD.
Congratulations.
Shout out to you, kid. But great point. Carry on.
Yeah, it's, so there's no excuse of, well, I've got nothing else. This is all I know. It might be all you know because it's all you've done since.
Right.
But it's not all that you have. And if you keep putting your body through a ridiculous amount of brutality, you're definitely not going to have anything.
Yeah, Darby.
Look, and that's another show is when is enough physically? The demand of jumping and fucking. Am I a fan of watching it happen?
Oh yeah, love it. This title run, this AEW World Championship run that Darby Allin is doing, this is a great program.
But when Darby Allin steps on top of a ladder, do I fucking worry to death that this kid is the last time he's going off of a fucking ladder? Absolutely.
The last time his eyes were open. That's what I'm worried about.
Every time.
You look at these wrestlers, and we're kind of it's on topic but slightly off topic. Comparing wrestlers like Darby Allin versus compared to The Miz, or compared to MJF. MJF will wrestle a great match. He'll put all the spots in it. He'll do all the things. But he doesn't feel the need to wrestle all the time. Same with The Miz. And when The Miz does wrestle, the Miz does wrestle safe.
Correct.
He wrestles, I think as Daniel Bryan called it once in that infamous promo, which was a work. But in that promo, he said he wrestles soft. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly,
he kind of does.
He does. But when you're looking at what Darby Allin is doing, what Jeff Hardy has done his entire career,
Mick Foley,
can you fucking blame him? Because sometimes these are guys at the like early stages of their careers, right? Miz, maybe not as much, but MJF, absolutely. Darby Allin, absolutely. Even a Javon Evans or a Leon Russell or a Leon Slater, these guys are at the very early parts of their career. At some point in time, they have to know, I'm going to retire from wrestling at some point. When do I retire? What kind of shape do I need to be in when that happens?
Right.
What quality of life do I want to have when I leave my boots in the ring?
Yeah, because let's be real, DDP can't save everybody.
No. Shout out to DDP and DDP Yoga. Apparently, that's fucking miracle work right there.
My big shout out to DDP because he has legitimately saved some motherfuckers' lives, but he can't save everybody.
And not everything will be fixed with yoga.
And not all corrective surgery is going to allow you to get back into the fucking ring.
That's correct.
I said it.
Because there are people who have had to retire for medical reasons, two primarily being Triple H and Big E. Yeah. Triple H had that heart incident. Big E, we all know. We've talked about it recently because we've talked 4 weeks about the New Day. But Big E had the suplex. And God bless, Triple H and Big E. They're alive. Yeah. Those incidents could have killed them. God bless them, they're alive. But beyond that, they have a quality of life, right? Chris Bay, a name we don't talk about enough in wrestling right now. Chris Bay had an incident in the ring. Nobody's fault, just how wrestling works. Had an injury in the ring and had to have a lot of time off and a lot of work done. Shout out to Chris Bay as he continues to recover. It's been like two, almost 3 years now. And Chris Bay, great wrestler, great gimmick, great energy, great charisma. Chris Bay, fantastic. Go back and watch some old Chris Bay stuff in TNA. Please do. But again, when medical situations force you to retire, there has to be a point where you're like, what if?
Yeah, what if?
Could Triple H was doing the executive thing. He's still here to do it.
Right.
So lucky him, but I'm sure there are people he's like, I'd love to have been able to get in the ring with this guy and give him the rub or whatever. And Big E's like, I had a whole number of title reigns in my future. I could have been a 2-time world
champion. There was getting ready to be another Big E push.
Oh yeah, that was coming.
Telling you, it was on the verge.
So when you see what was there as a fan, it's upsetting to see what we could have been. Now, credit being to Big E because he still has a quality of life. He has feeling in all of his limbs. He can walk, talk, do his thing. He's had a chance to find love. He still has a job in the industry doing what he's doing. So good on him. Glad he's had the opportunity.
Right.
But we're stuck with the what ifs, right? We're stuck looking at the what ifs. And listen, I can't speak for everyone. But for me, if there is something that was to happen and I'm stuck with the what ifs, that would haunt me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm paralyzed from the neck down, I'm still going to be thinking what ifs.
Yeah.
If I have full function of my body, I just can't do that thing anymore. I'm still going to be wondering what if. I'll be thankful for what I've got still, if it's my life. But the what ifs will haunt me.
Terribly.
So you mentioned Ric Flair.
Yes.
And Ric Flair is in that retired and returned because both Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels had retirement matches where if they lost their match, they would retire. And Ric Flair would have been at WrestleMania 24 and Shawn would have been at WrestleMania 26 because it was on either side of one of the greatest matches of all time, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. One of the greatest matches of all time. Argue with your mama. But Shawn Michaels came back for that tag team match. TX versus the Brothers of Destruction long after it should have happened. That match should have never taken place. And again, I come back from the fan standpoint. If I paid the money specifically to see you retire, to be there for that last match, and then your bitch ass shows up on another match again later on, I kind of want my money back. At least the difference. Whatever the hike of the ticket was because of the last match, I want the difference back.
Like, what would be a good angle? You know what I mean? Like, the retirement angle, as far as it being into a storyline, to play the kayfabe thing, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
You talked about the Mark Henry thing, right? But you're talking about a different era. Where now
also it happened in one night. It happened in one segment.
Right.
There was no lead up.
There wasn't no couple weeks.
Right. You didn't buy a ticket thinking, "Oh, I'm here for Mark Henry's retirement," or "I saw his retirement match and now this is going to be his last appearance on Raw." There was no setup for that.
No.
It came out of nowhere. It was for the emotional draw. And I'm fine if you do the reveal later in the episode, if it's a full segment where you reveal.
I got you.
The Mark Henry thing was perfect.
Yes.
Because it suckered you in. It brought down the emotion. It brought down the defenses. You were right here. You were calm. You were sad. And then bam, just right there in the face of John Cena. Literally, I hurt my hand. And that's what Mark Henry said. Like, bam, I hurt my hand. And like, do it in one segment. But this whole drawn out thing for weeks, because at this point now it's like, now we're just being lied to.
Right.
Now the fan base is just being lied to, you know?
And I think the thing for most that is a sour fucking bitter taste is this happens after all of these releases. All of a sudden, one of the top guys retires and then magically decides, nope, it's like, I'm not. Let's talk about the fact that you are one of the highest paid WWE superstars of all time.
All time.
And oops, all your friends, they weren't your friends. Most of them probably didn't like you, are gone because they just got released from their contracts because TKO is suffering so bad financially.
And they're not. We've already covered this. We did the numbers. I read the report.
But then Brock Lesnar comes out on Monday Night Raw.
And it's like, I joked with Joker last night, like, see, this is why they're being asked to take 50% cuts to pay Brock Lesnar. And while I don't actually believe that that's true,
I don't either. But
again, appearances. Appearances. Like we've said earlier, appearances.
If it walks like a duck
and quacks like a duck, it's probably a platypus. But it also could well be a duck. The duck-bill platypus is a fascinating creature. I'm not going to go into it, but if you do some research on the platypus, but it's a weird-ass creature. Evolutionarily, it's so strange. I digress.
Proof that if there is a creator, he's got a sense of humor.
Damn right he does. Ooh, you let my podcast have this show. But that's where it boils down to. I think the ultimate concern I have with this is the impact it has on fans.
Right.
If I was a wrestler, if I'm an AJ Styles, for example, I want fans to remember me on a high note. Yes. Don't remember me after I've screwed up a bunch of matches in a row, Goldberg. Don't remember me after that. Remember me on a good run, tag teaming, singles match, putting on, great matches. Remember me like that.
Yes.
Let's not have that crazy embarrassment of all the other rigmarole.
Dude, like, okay, for instance. If it glows under a black light, it's a platypus. If it involves Brock Lesnar, It's a duck.
I love how accurate. I love how accurate that is.
Thank you.
Because I recently watched a video of the platypus and I sent it to her. It's a whole video on the platypus. I don't have another show where I talk about animals. I have enough shows for now. It's fine. But again, appearances. But that's just. I would want to be remembered on a high note.
I would too. Like I said, I was getting ready to say I lost track of the platypus thing.
Threw me off too. Go ahead.
I've been watching more and more wrestling everywhere, and I started watching Juggalo Championship Wrestling again.
I haven't pulled that out yet. I haven't.
I'm not a huge fan, but I enjoy it. It's fun. I do get to see a lot of different talent in there. Again, that you don't get to see anymore in WWE. The Good Brothers are on Juggalo Championship a lot.
The Good Brothers are everywhere.
Nemeth is on the dude. Nick painted his face to look like a Juggalo, and I was sold. I was like, this dude.
I'll watch it for that.
Boom. But there was a match during their WrestleMania show. The Rock and Roll Express had a match. These guys are ancient. Okay, ancient. Speaking of the Rock and Roll Express, I need to correct myself from our previous show when I was talking about being a Jim Cornette guy. I misspoke. And it was the Midnight Express that I was thinking of and not the Rock and Roll Express. He did manage the Rock and Roll Express later on in his career, but the Midnight Express was the team that I was thinking of, not the Rock and Roll Express.
Because there was 45 tag teams at the time that ended with Express. It's an easy thing to screw up.
And you know.
But we do corrections here. We do corrections here.
See these guys, again, you talk about just, you're embarrassing yourself. Like, if you want to work a circuit and still be relevant in the industry, there are conventions for days that you could be on. Yeah. Days. You could be on these conventions.
There
all over the fucking country.
There are podcasts you could be on.
Podcasts you could be on. If you want to stay relevant, there are ways.
You could start your own podcast. Let's be honest. You can start your own. Jericho has one. Bubba Ray does one. Booker T's got one. Did I say Jericho?
Yeah. Cody's got one.
And I'm not even talking about like these WWE sponsored ones.
No. Like other people that have them.
Yeah. Because Undertaker has one, but okay. Cody has one. Okay. Stephanie McMahon has one. Okay. Actually, their shows are actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. They are good shows. I'm not discounting those.
All of them are good.
But they're just.
But yeah, like it's just there's even as
other
a fan,
ways to stay relevant. Yeah.
There's a moment in time where you look at talent and you're like, I want to see you be a happy person, and I understand that wrestling makes you a happy person, but I don't want to see an 80-year-old wrinkly fucker bouncing off the ring, off the ropes, and taking bumps.
Yeah.
If it's a spot, look. If it's a spot, like what they used to do with Mae Young.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's a spot like that, if you want to do shit like that, I'll bite. I'll bite. If it works with storyline and you want to do some cool shit like that, I'm on board. But if it's just because you just can't fucking let go and you think that there's no other way in the world to be relevant or acknowledged or whatever for the individual that you have built yourself to be, I don't know, man. I feel for you.
Here's a recent example of just what Joker was talking about. In Ohio Valley Wrestling, they had a storyline where at around Thanksgiving there was like a match or a battle royal, whatever. The loser had to wear a turkey suit.
Yep.
And the conditions were you had to wear the turkey suit until you won your next match. So he goes on this losing streak that only ended a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is Thanksgiving, last November. He just got out of the turkey suit like 3-4 weeks ago, if that. Okay.
Yeah.
So he gets to the point where he's desperate. So it's week after week. There's a segment where he just calls out somebody and challenges him to a match and somehow ends up losing. All right, cool. It's a comedy spot.
Right.
One of those weeks was Mick Foley. Mick Foley was there in the Impact Zone or in the Davis Arena, the Hot Point Davis Arena. And so you had Mick Foley. Was he in a wrestling match? Technically, yes. But it was a spot. It was a comedy spot. It was a comedy match. Mick Foley versus TW3.
Yes.
So, okay. That's fine. If Shawn did that, fine. If it was Shawn Michaels having to put one of his NXT wrestlers in his place, it's like, fine. I'll fight you in the ring to put you in his place. It is a couple of dodges, maybe a bump or two. Sweet chin, knock the guy out, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I can live with that.
Yes.
I can live. That's a spot. I don't even call that a match. It's a spot.
No, it's a spot. It's a spot, and I'm totally okay with that.
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens.
It's a spot.
Was a match, but it was really a spot.
And, well, okay, let's be real. They were in fucking Texas.
They were in Texas.
Of course, Stone Cold's going to be on Mania in Texas.
And if it comes
do
out
a spot, not an official match, not something sanctioned.
It was official. It technically was official, so it technically was a match. It was last, so it is technically also the main event of that WrestleMania. If we're being technical, the bell rung.
But it was a spot.
But more or less, it was a spot.
It was a spot.
It was a match as a spot.
It wasn't, I'm coming out of retirement and I'm having another run. I think I want to fucking chase the fucking title again. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. Right. It was a
totally
spot.
Different. The bell can ring and it still be a spot.
And like I said,
some wrestling purists that will correct us. That's fine. If you wanna, you know what? Here, let's put the banner up. Email me if you have to. If you want to like put correction in the subject line, no. If that was an official match, it was called the main event. The WrestleMania. Okay, all right, that's fine.
It was still a spot.
It was a spot.
He didn't come out of retirement.
It's fine. It's fine. Those things are fine. But here's my thing, and we'll close on Flair because Flair, I think, is the most egregious in this situation because Flair had this big, long retirement thing. Again, if I lose, I am forced to retire.
Right.
He lost to Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24, and such an emotional moment. I love you. I'm sorry.
Dude, the I love you. The I love you before the sweet chin was a forever moment.
Again, I'm sorry. I love you. Sweet chin. 1, 2, 3. Retires Ric Flair. Fantastic. That should have been it.
That's your chef kiss.
You can't go out any better.
No. And you can't you can't remake that.
You can't.
You cannot remake that gold.
And then comes TNA. Ric Flair goes to TNA. And he has matches. Now, if he shows up in TNA and does things, he's just like an authority figure or a manager or whatever.
I'd have been okay with it.
I'm not saying you got to leave wrestling.
No. find something else to do in the industry, especially if it's all about being in front of the camera, if it's all about being in front of people.
Yeah, because in TNA, the promo with Ric Flair versus with Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal, yeah.
That's comedy gold. That's wrestling gold. And I love it because none of it was planned.
No.
If you hear this, if you guys never heard the story, Jay Lethal goes to Ric Flair to discuss the spot. They have a segment. And he goes to discuss. He's like, I don't discuss my spots, my segments. I'll see you out there. He's like, okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to do against Ric fucking Flair, but I'll figure it out.
Here we go.
So all of that was on the fly. All that shit was improv.
So good.
It was great.
So good.
It was the woo off.
The woo off. Yeah.
The woo off is so good. So I have no problem with Ric Flair being in TNA. There shouldn't have been any matches.
No. Again, spots.
Sure. Come in the ring, interfere, fall, take a bump, whatever. Sure. All day. Fortune deserved that.
How long was he in a wheelchair while in TNA? Like, and it not be a work. How long? Like, I'm pretty sure most of the time I remember watching Flair in TNA, he was not capable.
It was a bad time for TNA altogether.
Oh, no question.
We're looking at you, Hogan. It was your fault. It just was. So then that should have been the end of it. You wanted to come back to WWE, hang out with your daughter, do the thing, and you know what? All right. You're there with your daughter. Your daughter's Charlotte fucking Flair.
Hey, you want to be her valet? That's dope.
That's cool. The pregnancy angle with Lacey Evans, that was creepy as fuck. Don't do that again.
It was fun. It was fun though. I did kind of like laugh at it.
That was wild.
I laughed at it a lot.
I laughed at it
a whole lot.
Yeah, still weird. It was kind of like ooh, ooh. No, let's not do that. Let's not say we didn't.
That was the downtrodden of Lacey.
It really. And here's the thing. We'll have to do an episode of wrestlers that little wrestlers that could but didn't. It sounds so condescending, and it shouldn't. I don't mean it to be. This is no shot at Lacey Evans because I loved Lacey Evans in the ring. I loved Lacey Evans. I had a huge crush on Lacey Evans. She was fucking delicious. I had to stop describing people as delicious, but she was fucking hot. And beyond that, I just enjoyed her in the ring. The Southern Girl thing, great gimmick. Because you didn't see that.
The pinup gimmick was beautiful.
You didn't see any of that.
No.
Right?
And that was definitely before Timeless Tony Storm, before she brought that out.
And Timeless did it better.
Oh, 100%. No.
Because you can't even.
No argument.
Yeah. You can't argue with Tony Storm. And there's no way that should be taken as an insult.
No.
Yeah. Sure. But you can't take it as an insult. Because Tony Storm does wrestling better. Just all the wrestling better than everybody else. She's not even on TV right now. Still the best gimmick on TV.
Still.
So then she comes back and she's leaning more into her role as a Marine, and I love that. Every rendition of Lacey was good. I just don't see how it didn't cross, how it didn't connect. And she's retired from wrestling.
She's talking about making a comeback.
She's talked about it. So far, she hasn't. But honestly, if she falls on this retired and returned list, I am not upset. Because what we learned with World Series Wrestling is that sometimes the best thing for your wrestling career is to not wrestle for WWE.
There is There is life after WWE.
Oh yeah, probably your best life.
There is amazing life after WWE.
If you don't believe us, watch World Series Wrestling. Watch AEW. Watch Ring of Honor. Watch fucking Athena. Athena, Toni Storm, the only two names I have to mention. And it's no coincidence that they're both women. Because in a lot of cases, especially in pro wrestling, somehow, some way, women just do it better. Argue with your mama, she'll probably slap you. That's fine. I got nothing to do with that. That's between y'all. That's between y'all.
Not get a chop.
That's not me. But they just do it better. Athena, her title run, better than Roman's. Better than Roman's. No competition, no argument. I'm not even going to put my email address back up because you ain't got to argue. I ain't got to hear it. Time with Toni Storm. Again, she's not even on TV and still the best gimmick on TV.
Ha!
Damn right. But again, then you go into what you were talking about with Ric Flair's final match.
Yeah.
And that whole show. It was a whole show. It was an independent show. I think it was in Nashville. And it was the main event was Ric Flair and Andrade against somebody. I forget what tag team.
It was Jay Lethal.
And would have been Jarrett?
Maybe Jeff Jarrett.
All right, I'll look it up. Rick.
I didn't even think to look it up because it was a fucking fiasco. Like it was already being clowned on before it happened. It was star-studded as far as like the crowd. There were so many fucking talent there to celebrate Rick. Like they thought that it was gonna be like a good thing, and then it turned out not so good.
It was in fact Ric Flair and Andrade El Idolo versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And I'm sure Shawn Michaels doesn't care. But if I was Shawn Michaels, I would care if I had the credit, if I had the little notch on my belt as Ric Flair's last opponent.
Well,
and then he goes and wrestles again, and now it's Jay Lethal, and I heard he's trying to do it again.
Who, Rick?
Just in passing, because Rick's going to go till he dies. He's going to keep going till the real falls off. So
again, just the entire point of just. He's 77 years old right now.
He is 77 years old.
He's 77. The last time I saw video of Ric Flair walking through the airport, dude could barely fucking shuffle. Like, he's not even walking. Like, he's like shuffling his feet because he's so fucking frail. Again, I'm a huge fucking fan. If this gets back to the man's ears, I apologize. I mean, no fucking ill will towards you at all, sir. But have some respect for yourself. As a fucking human being, have some fucking just... Look, you're the man. You're Ric fucking Flair. Jeff flying. Kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing.
I didn't even mean to find this. This was a post. This is sources. 2000s Wrestling through via Facebook from February 6th. I don't know the credibility of the source, but I'll read the whole entire thing. So, but proper credit where credit is due, because that's what we do here. Quote, Ric Flair has officially announced that he is ready to come out of retirement for one last match in professional wrestling. At the age of 76, Ric Flair still has the desire to wrestle one more match. During a recent K&S WrestleFest signing event, Rick said, quote, "Somebody wants me to wrestle Ricky Morton now. I could easily do it. Thinking about it." End quote. They carry on to say, "Wow, if Ric Flair is indeed ready to come out of retirement, WWE should call him and book him against Gunther at WrestleMania 42. No, they fucking shouldn't. First of all, he's been in trouble with WWE because he has some shit to say about Kaiser. We're going to let that go. That's all we're going to talk about with that mess. But he apparently has some things to say, and that's why he wasn't at WrestleMania 42. That's why he was watching it in a bar. People had some questions about that. There's a shots of Ric Flair watching WrestleMania 42 from a bar, from at home, or from somewhere other than WrestleMania. And they're like, well, why isn't he just there to watch it? His daughter's wrestling. Why isn't he just there? That's why. He got into some drama over Kaiser because of the Stratton stuff.
Yeah.
He threatened Kaiser.
He fucking was talking shit to Kaiser and way off base, but
yeah, it's way no. But again, it boils down to where I think this conversation ultimately lands. At a certain point, what are you doing? I think every wrestling match should serve the industry. Nothing made me more fucking proud to be a professional wrestling fan than all the wrestling I watched since Friday. And I don't think I caught SmackDown. I think I missed SmackDown. I don't remember.
I didn't watch SmackDown.
I don't think I saw SmackDown.
No.
I saw all 4 nights of World Series wrestling.
I almost didn't watch AEW this weekend.
I didn't watch AEW this weekend.
I did. And shout out to Brian Cage on his fucking jacked ass coming back.
Yeah. He's been back for like a week or so.
Jesus.
Brian Cage is one of them dudes. But without watching any of the shows from this weekend on the majors, right? WWE, SmackDown, or AEW Collision, I hadn't been more proud to be a pro wrestling fan than watching World Series wrestling.
Watching World Series.
And watching OVW fucking Collision Course.
Yeah.
Those were fantastic shows with guys whose names you have probably never heard of.
Probably never heard.
And you probably never heard of Tuckman.
And at first glance, look, you might be like, this is stupid. Like, what am I watching? Like, this is dumb. No. Look, the troublemakers. You're gonna look at them and be like, this is the dumbest shit I think I'm looking at right now. No. This is professional wrestling.
Boys can go.
This is the most beautiful
Outrunners. They didn't wrestle this weekend, but the Outrunners.
The Outrunners. This is the most beautiful version of professional wrestling. OVW is where it's at. And now, like we said, World Series wrestling is right fucking there.
They have an event they're announcing for October. Okay. I won't be in Australia, but you bet your ass I'm going to be watching that show. I'm watching the whole series.
Look,
it's like 4 or 5 episodes. I'll be watching each.
I'm telling you right now, if it's during a production night, I'm going to be watching it in the office. I don't care.
I might be in the office with them.
We'll watch in the office.
We'll watch in the office. It's like, hey, somebody's in the bubble room. We got to, I'm like, shh, main event.
Biscuit, go take care of that.
Right.
Watching wrestling. Go away.
He's like, I'm right next to you, dude. I'm watching it too. But those are the names you're not going to otherwise hear. I don't hear anyone talking about Man Like DeReiss. I don't hear anyone else talking about the Dropouts.
Or Jay De Niro.
Or 169 Baby Doll. Steven Steele. You know what? Shout out Steven Steele and Cal Hero. These guys Like Steven Steele is a guy that if you walk past him and says, he's got that like that Dusty Rhodes lisp.
So I'm not a fan of the man boob thing that he does. I can't get with that part. But everything else the kid does is fucking great.
Kid will sell you, man.
He reminds me of a very young Dusty.
Yeah,
like he really, really does, and that's
he
why
has that same little lisp.
He's got the lisp.
He's going with it.
His look, everything about him screams Dusty Rhodes, and I do enjoy him. But yeah, these again, like we talk about, just the great wrestling this weekend, and it wasn't from the big 2 or 3 or whatever you want to call them now.
Yeah,
it was the. I don't even want to call him the little guy because
I don't even want to call him little because
they're
great
not
wrestling.
They're not indie wrestling.
They're just the ones you're not speaking of. They're just the ones we're not speaking of.
This is professional wrestling.
And I mentioned them before. I mentioned them because if watching night 1 of World Series Wrestling or watching Collision Course is my introduction to pro wrestling, I'm hooked.
I'm a fan.
If watching Ric Flair with El Idolo tagging against Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, if that's my first match,
I'm walking away from wrestling.
I'm still going to be looking at everybody like, what the fuck is all this?
Stupid. It's dumb.
This is dumb.
It's dumb.
This is, like, why is this old guy flopping around cutting himself?
Why am I watching Grandpa bleed?
Why am I watching Grandpa bleed?
Why am I watching Grandpa bleed?
Why is Grandpa bleeding?
Look, again, I give props.
Why is Grandpa bleeding?
Why is Grandpa bleeding?
Why are we going so far to watch Grandpa bleed? Why am I paying money to watch Grandpa bleed? I don't want to watch Grandpa bleed.
Why is a 77-year-old man blading themselves?
Why is a 77-year-old man like, I could go to WrestleMania 42? Bitch, no. Because again, this boils down to what does it add to the industry, right? This show, for example, the reason why I wanted to do this show, why I wanted to do Moon Nichols Wrestling in the first place, is because there's one, I'm a big wrestling fan. I want to talk about wrestling. And that's one. But beyond that, I want to add a different perspective than what other wrestling podcasts are doing. I'm not the only one that does what we do. We're not it. But a lot of them are, this is what happened on Raw. This is what happened on SmackDown. This is what happened on Dynamite. This is what happened here. This is what happened there. And I love those shows because not everybody can watch all the TV. Right. So you need somebody to give you a recap.
Right.
Thank you for those shows existing.
Thank you. Yeah.
There's a space for that. But there's already that space is already filled.
Yep.
So what do I want to do? I want to give different perspectives on wrestling from a fan's point of view. I'm not in the industry. I'm just a dude who watches TV a lot. And so I just want to talk wrestling. And then I felt like people are bored of my just me. So I got a co-host. So now I'm talking wrestling to someone else. Now we're just talking about wrestling shit. And I'm down for that. I'm down for that completely. And I'm hoping you are too. And if you have a friend that is, then, shout out to Amanda in the comments. Tell a friend and share your favorite episode of Moon Nichols Wrestling. Yeah, I stole it. Shalasia. Yeah, I did. I did steal your outro. I did. I stole it. And you can correct me if you want to. I'm going to hear about this in a couple of weeks on Millennial Mamas. I can hear it now. Go listen to Millennial Mamas. It's a podcast. It's hilarious. But all this to say is I don't see where Ric Flair blading himself at 77 adds anything to wrestling.
It does.
And I think that's the answer to the question we asked in the beginning of this as we hit the 2-hour mark, because we don't do short shows.
No.
When is it time to tap out? when you no longer add to the industry, when what you're doing is no longer a benefit to the industry. I know you are. I know you are. And I can't wait to hear it.
I think to add to that is also when you know your body can't take it no more. If you wake up, look, even if you are still capable, I'm not putting an age cap. I'm not putting an age cap at all. I can't put an age cap because there are talent out there that are over 55, over 60 years old. Jay Gennaro.
Killing it.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that as a fucking person, your body, what you feel when you wake up. If you got to pop a fucking handful of fucking pills because your pain is that bad, time to ask for not in-ring shit anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe
cut a bunch of promos.
Cut promos.
Do the retirement thing.
Dude, look, man, NXT's fucking blowed up. It's not the fucking indie program anymore, so nothing embarrassing there. Teach the fucking new generation of fucking talent. Nothing embarrassing about that. You make a paycheck. And if you got a big name, guess what? You're probably still going to make a pretty big fucking paycheck.
Be a producer. Michael P.S. Hayes, Robert Roode, Shane Helms, Chris Parks, all these dudes. That's Abyss, for those that missed it. That's Abyss from TNA. All of these guys, great producers. Fit Finlay, great producer. TJ Wilson, great producer. TJ is praised for what he does for the women's division.
I was going to say another show we're going to have about the women's division, and I'm going to talk about TJ Wilson for about a fucking hour.
Amazing.
He ain't in ring no more.
He's not a woman, so but still, what he has done over the years for women's wrestling in WWE, because TNA's always done it better. What he's done for women's wrestling in WWE cannot be denied.
He produces more than 80% of the fucking women's matches.
So I think that's the answer. If you have a different answer as to when it's time to really tap out with your wrestling career, message the show, put it in the comments. We'll find it. I guarantee we will somehow, some way or another. So just so I can really get in trouble, tell a friend to watch your favorite episode of Moon Eagles Wrestling. I'm the Moon. This is Joker. And we don't do short shows. We're out. Maybe if I hit all the buttons.
That one right there.